All right then. So if this seems a bit harsh to you, a bit cynical, I'm afraid I'm not going to apologize because basically, I mean, after nearly 30 years living in Nevada, gambling in Nevada, seeing the horrible damage that gambling does to decent people, I can't apologize. I mean, it's just, this is reality. This is how it is. It's a sad situation that so many people watch the likes of Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and Bobby Rivas and so on. They believe Dana White when he says he won 16.5 million at Caesars and threw their quarterly books into disarray. What a load of crap. People who feel that gambling is glamorous and exciting and relaxing and entertaining. Sorry, that's not reality. But I don't expect to be listened to necessarily, but I'm going to say my piece and maybe eventually somebody will hear me. All right, so I'm going to try something a bit different this time and see how it works out. I obviously have no way of knowing. I suspect it'll be fine, but who the hell knows? Lower max, as you can see from the 5,000 there, still starting with $25. And if I hit a problem, then I'll simply, sort of reset the whole thing and go to a table with a higher limit. It's basically it's kind of a variation of what I did for years and years when I lived in Nevada, and it worked very well for me because what I would do is I'd sort of like start out in a low end casino, and as soon as I hit a preset level, I would just stay at that table, fall back to a minimum bet, and start another series. But remember the down and out from the series where I kind of crapped out, and do that maybe somewhere between 3 and 5 times. Have a notebook in my back pocket, a scruffy old notebook, and a stubby pencil, and sort of keep a record of the kind of blocks that I hit, and then go to an up more or further upmarket casino and play out those particular targets. And once I got that sorted, then it would be back down to the bare minimum and repeat the process. And it was kind of complex, but it paid enough money to be worthwhile. And I mean, sometimes, of course, if you hit a winning streak, you never have to fall back. But, well, you do eventually, but I mean, for a long time. So that's the whole deal. Anyway, let's see what we get here. Well, that's a good start. Oh, yeah, that's kind of an interesting situation. The chances of getting a blackjack are 4%. They're 4% for you and 4% for the player. And there's no point in trying to compute what the odds are for two blackjacks at the same time, two naturals at the same time, because they're the same, 4%. So that's how it goes. Anyway, repeat bet. We're going to double it though for the push. Nasty push. Well, that worked. Now plus max. That's a stand. So repeat the bet. We don't go higher than that. I love those dealer 22s. That's ridiculous. I'll take it. Don't like that one much. Look at this. We're going completely nuts here. Alexa, stop. All right, so we lost one there. We go back down to the minimum now because we had a good little run there. We're not greedy, remember. Double for the loss. One, two. Ooh, 3, 4. 7, ocho. 7, 8. That worked out. All right, back to the min. Bugger. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, I am. 51. Another push. That was a push too, but we'll do it again. All right, that was nasty. So that's 3, 4, I think. Damn it! These pushes are a real pain in the ass, aren't they? That's better. All right. It's a lot of work for not much money there, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. +1. 51. 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51. That's a repeat. Sorry. 1, 2. 3, 4. That did not go well. Okay. 3, 4. So that's going to be 11, 12, dropping to 3. We're in the drop zone now. Okay, so it's 8, 12, which we'll call 8, 10. No, that doesn't sound right. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. I think I've screwed up here somewhere. No, I think it's 8, 16. 8, 16, so we should call that 1, 2. I think that's what we need to do. All right, that works out. I think I messed up there. I'll have to look into that one. I think I miscalculated. That does happen, you know. Look at that. And some of these pushes are just, you know, they defy belief. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. That was rude. All right, we're making some decent progress here anyway. That's double for the loss. That's a repeat. 51. 51, 2, 3. 5, 6. Bugger. That's better. Damn it. Double for the loss. $51. No, 1, 2. Sorry. That's how we like it. Oh, double for the loss. Repeat. $51. Getting in a bit of a rut here, aren't we? 51, 1, 2, 3. All right, we hit the 8,000 anyway. I think we've had it our own way here, though. Well, I'm just going to play one shoe at a time as well, unless I have to roll over, but it'll only be a little bit. Double for the loss. Well, that's just as well. All right, back to the min. Double for the loss. One, 2. Oh, damn it. 3, 4. Get those all the time though, don't you? Let's face it. 7, 8. Right at the end. Terrible. 15, 8. Dropping to 3. Drop zone. 18, 8. 21, 8. We got to keep on trucking. 24, 8. 21, 8, which is going to be 5, 2 in 500s. That didn't go so well. I mean, let me think about this. 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2. I just lost 4. So that's going to be 9, 8, which is going to be 5, 4. That's not going to work, is it? Oh, maybe it is. Okay, so now it's 1, 2. High rolling now. Well, what do you think about that? Okay, so we're going to stop this one. And yeah, I'll add the numbers in the edit. But yeah, that's pretty decent, I think. Okay, so even before I post this on YouTube, I can hear the smart asses out there saying, "Yeah, it's only 64 bets. It doesn't mean anything. It's irrelevant. It's anecdotal. It's, all of the nonsense that the casino bullshit machine has been putting out for years, very efficiently, very effectively, aided and abetted by the likes of Vegas Matt Morrow and Jason Balky. I don't know how he pronounces his name, but he's better known as Mr. Handpain. And then there's Bobby Rivas and Dana White, and on and on and on and on and on and on it goes. And, they all put up sessions which frequently last less than 64 bets, and they get their asses kicked. Sometimes they make a bit of money if they win more bets than they lose, but otherwise they get their asses kicked. And we're supposed to say, ooh, 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 oh, ooh, this is so exciting. Blah, 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 blah. So I rudely interrupted myself there because I thought I found an error up here because it's all 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But that's absolutely right, because the way this works is it simply says, okay, if we're not in recovery, then you just count a win as a win as a win as a win. When you're fighting to get your money back, then it goes, okay, an isolated win and then 2 wins in a row and so on. So that as you go down this thing, it does the count. But that's correct up there. And all I'm trying to say to you folks is, it's the usual thing. Take it or leave it, believe me or not. But I've given you another real-time session. I've changed my approach to blackjack, not in the way that I bet. That hasn't changed in a very long time, but in the way that I'm presenting it for YouTube, because I'm getting so bloody frustrated by watching people like Matt Morrow and Bobby Rivas and all the other clowns. They bet like bloody fools, because that's how the casinos want us to bet. And all of you need to keep in mind, the casino needs us to bet stupidly, and they assume that we're stupid. That is basically their business plan. Everybody who sits down at the table better be an idiot, otherwise they're the enemy, and they will find a way to shut them down. So when you pay attention to what I'm telling you, and when you start to win more frequently, no guarantees. Let's understand that very clearly. But when you start to win more frequently, they will begin to look at you very suspiciously, because all of a sudden you're not the bottom line fodder. You're a threat. And that's how they behave. That's how the casinos are. They are so damn greedy. They're not satisfied just with the house advantage, which just keeps the money flowing in and keeps building multi-billion-dollar casinos in Las Vegas and elsewhere. They want more, more, more. And of course, the shills who back them up, who do their free advertising for them, the Vegas Mats and so on, they do very nicely, thank you very much, out of being trained seals, pets, shills, barkers, whatever. And yeah, I'm cynical. I am cynical. I lived in Nevada for a very long time, and I'm very, very cynical of casino attitudes, casino behavior, casino ethics, which do not exist. So just remember, the casinos are not your friends. Vegas Matt is not your friend. Mr. HP is not your friend. Blah, blah, blah. They may be entertaining you, and if you can be entertained watching somebody else gambling, then, well, I'm not your friend either. That's all I can say. So anyway, let's have a look at what the situation here is. We had what to start with was a pretty easygoing time of it. We got up here where we see, we got 8 bets ahead, and then we started to slide, and we came down to 1 here, and then we went up again for a little bit, and then the wheels came off. That's the way these sessions go. That is pretty much standard. So we faced an 8% house edge against us, okay, house advantage, and we turned that into a 28% player advantage. The only way you can do that, and I've been saying this so often, that I'm even boring myself from time to time. But you have to win more when you win than you lose when you lose to get around this very simple sort of situation here where we lost more bets than we won. Down here, you'll see the indicated outcome per the actual value of minus 7.8%, given the action up here, which is 21,525, would be a loss of 1,600 plus. All right, that's the casino's expectation of us, because if we bet flat or randomly, that's the kind of crap we're going to have to bear. Instead, pattern betting won 6,075. So, average bet for pattern betting was 336. The range was 25 to 4,000, I think. Yeah, that's high. You may not be able to do all of that at one table, but it doesn't matter. Moving to another table doesn't matter at all. Just, if you hit a table limit, if you're getting scrutiny, if you're getting prod nose kind of activity, somebody coming over from the pit, the pit boss coming over, trying to engage you in conversation, trying to find out what you're doing, trying to distract you, then just move. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The patterns that pattern betting relies on are these constant turnarounds. Each one of these green horizontal lines is a turnaround. This one was shit. Look at this. Horrible. I mean, 8 losses in a row. Normally I wouldn't put up with that, but I can't keep running away when I'm doing a recording, so I just have to suck it up. But notice what we do here. We get after all of these losses in a row, we drop our bet and we wait it out until, we get a win, and then we go bang straight after the negative here, the hole, the loss to date. We go after it in a rush. What happened to us this time? We lost a double down. Damn me. So then, of course, we have to double this bet. And then we win that one, turn around, then it's 2,000, and we get a blackjack, and isn't that lovely? Doesn't happen this way all the time. I'm not suggesting that. What I'm saying to you is if you don't do something like what I'm doing here, you're going to lose your arse. You're going to lose your bankroll. You're going to go home with your tail between your legs. And all I can say is I hope it's your money and not the family's, because what I saw in the years that I lived in Nevada was an awful lot of misery. People who, they'd go into the cheap casino in town, the sort of spit and sawdust joint, cash their paycheck for $600, $700, $800 at the cashier's table, down a few free Miller Lights, lose all their bloody money, and then they had to go home and tell the family, well, we've got no money to live this week because I just blew it all at Sharky's. I mean, that's the reality of gambling. And all of these people who are paid, like Vegas Matt, like Bobby Rivas, all the others, paid to promote gambling, to make it look glamorous, they've got that on their heads, but they don't care. What they care about is making money for themselves. And then all this sort of like, what do they call it in America? Virtue signaling that they do where they give money away. They're not giving anything away. They're making far more money than they lose. At the end of the day, they're making far more money from the Google cash cow than they lost at the table. So, let's get real. Let's look at how things really are on YouTube, which shouldn't be doing what it's doing because it's circumventing all the rules around the world, protecting people from gambling advertising, and the Vegas Mats and so on are not friends of their audience. They are friends of the house. That's just how it is.